All right, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Coach Brandy here for the weekly segment Coffee with Coach Brandy. I've got amazing client Patty with us this morning for a client spotlight. Good morning, Patty. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Thanks.
I'm so glad that you were able to join with this. We booked this many weeks ago, and I have been looking forward to this because you've got a number of highlights that I know are going to be really, really relatable to different women watching this segment. And that's one of my favorite things about doing client spotlights is to share in vulnerable fashion, like what people are actually up against, but how they overcome those types of hiccups or obstacles or injuries or lifestyle realms. So first, tell me a little bit about how you found out about Feed Your Soul. Like, what made you get started with us?
Well, I was recovering from breast cancer and was absolutely miserable, in the worst shape of my life, and my joint pain was out off the charts. And I remember seeing a Facebook post that said, "Bad knees, bad back, no problem, we'll help you." And I just went out on a limb and responded and met you, and you changed my life. So I can't thank you enough for that. It was exactly what I needed at that time in my life. And wow, have things changed. um, I love the class workouts, and I love the community, and I feel safe and comfortable, and I don't feel intimidated like I would have at a big box gym. And so it was just the perfect fit for me. And after doing lots of classes, I don't remember the timing of everything, but I remember doing personal training and absolutely loved that. And I think that took my fitness to a whole different level. And then we worked on nutrition. And I had just a great experience learning about macros and really changing the way I eat. And at the end of that time, I was probably in the best shape of my adult life anyway. And then, as you can imagine, things change. And I slowed down a little, and I had lots of family stuff going on, and then I got severely injured and have been recovering for the last 2 years. And so I'm now not at the best fitness level of my life, but I'm clawing my way back. And so it's just been a wonderful constant in my life to know the gym's there for me, and I can come in and work out and modify as I need to, and still feel good, and not do the things that hurt, but do the things that I can, and get stronger in ways that I can. So it's been
Yeah,
a wonderful thing for me.
it's quite the journey. And I think it's very relatable to me. I know it's relatable to numerous women in our community and people out there that I haven't even met. I know you guys are watching, where you did work so hard and you put so many puzzle pieces together with, strength training and nutrition and getting your steps in and drinking your water and getting your sleep. And there's just those key fundamental components, and you had them all clicking together so well. And like you said, you were in the best shape of your adult life, which being a cancer survivor and it like that's a big testimony to say. And then to have these major injuries come about and to feel almost like, not that you're starting at square one, but you took several steps back in your journey due to these extenuating circumstances, but you didn't give up, and things look different for you in this chapter. And
Yeah.
that's the number one takeaway from this that I want to make sure I highlight, because so many of us go through extenuating circumstances of any kind. Like you said, you had family stuff going on, you had injuries going on, you moved, you were, for a while, you were a client that was part-time, like a hybrid, where you come to the studio and you would go virtual. And here you are saying, look, this next chapter is going to look differently, but I'm still making this chapter happen because I miss the way I felt then. Like, what has that been like for you, kind of creating that new chapter, knowing it's not going to look like what it did before?
Well, I've just had to kind of slow down and re-envision what things are going to look like, because it is different. I know I'm going to have a knee replacement or two before long. And so that was part of my strategy in moving. Yes, it was a ridiculous time to move and buy a house and move my parents at the same time. But the end result is I'm 3 blocks away from them. And so helping them, I don't take care of them, but helping them is now way easier because I'm nearby.
Yeah.
And my house is a ranch, so I can take care of myself while I'm recovering from a knee surgery. And it's not um, putting the burden on my knees that my old house was. So once I got all of that done, I now I feel better and I can start moving forward towards improving my fitness given my limitations. And I feel so much better. And yeah, I may not ever get back to exactly where I was, but I'll figure out what the best version of my current situation is going to be and I'll get there.
Absolutely. And you've taken like all the nutrition coaching you did, all the personal training you did, all everything you've learned in the groups. Would you say you can still apply that? Like you haven't forgotten it. It's something that you've invested in as far as like it's a part of your education for your health and wellness journey. That's something you can take with you forever and ever.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
I think the nutrition piece, it's a shame that I got away from it, but I was just surviving for quite a while. And so now I look forward to making a healthy meal and having nothing but healthy stuff in my refrigerator. Um, and that's funny because I packed my whole house in September. And I've unpacked the kitchen, but there are still things I can't find, like my scale. Like I have no idea what my weight is. But that's kind of refreshing because I now am forced to think about how my clothes fit instead. And I'll find it eventually, but it's in the hundreds of boxes in my garage. so,
Yeah.
um, so I'm just doing things a little bit differently, but using the tools that I've learned and dusting off some of those things. One of the things that I have missed is having my workout space in my house. In my old house, I had a great spot, and I just haven't done that yet, but I'll get there. And then I'll do some more virtual on days that I just can't get into the studio. But
Yeah.
I'm not further. That was one of my requirements in moving, was not to be further from the studio than I was before. And I'm exactly 20 minutes.
That's fantastic.
Yep. So it works out great.
You
So
alluded to some non-scale victories. Like you said, I like that your scale isn't right in your bathroom where you're getting on it every day. That's kind of a tumultuous journey for most women, and just some of the ups and downs of what that is mentally and emotionally with the ups and downs of the scale that are naturally going to happen. What have been some of the bigger non-scale victories that you mentioned earlier, like how your clothes fit, but what other types of non-scale victories do you tend to attach to in your health and wellness journey, non-scale victories?
I think it's more on the strength side. I just could barely get off the couch for 8 weeks. And so every day that I can walk without a whole lot of pain is pretty exciting. And I was telling you yesterday, I did a class with Allison. It was awesome. And I still struggle with about at the 20 to 30 minute mark. My back tends to say, nope, you're done. And every day I'm getting a little further into a class before that happens. And
Yeah.
I sat down to do some of take the leg workout and do just some arms. And I noticed that it was much further into the class before that was necessary than what it had been a couple of weeks ago. So I feel like I'm getting stronger and the pain is dissipating. And, um, you know, I know that building my strength back up is only going to help. So those are the things, when I wake up in the morning and I don't feel intense pain, it's a good day. And
Completely.
on the scale thing, for years, that stepping on the scale would determine if I was going to have a good day or not. And I love that I'm not doing that anymore. And I'll find it eventually, but it may get tucked away, and then I only pull it out once in a while, because it doesn't determine, how much I weigh doesn't determine how I'm going to feel for the day.
No, how strong you are and how capable you are, I think is the better, helpful determining factor. And
Yes.
speaking of some of these limitations, and I think that's fantastic. Congratulations on kind of that endurance and stamina you're building up with your back. Clearly you're strengthening it. Clearly you're strengthening your core. That's a really good thing that you are kind of tracking mentally. In the names of limitations and injuries, I think a lot of women too will be like, well, I've got a bum shoulder or my knees are really cranky and I can't do any squats or lunges. So they kind of just push exercise away, especially strength training. But I've watched you do the most creative realms of modifications, where you don't stop working as long as you keep moving and whatever it is, even if you have to grab a ball or a chair and sit on it, even if you have to come down to the ground and be seated or come to your back, you keep moving. And I think that's a great testament to the women out there that have XYZ injury or limitation, that there is something that you can do to help yourself keep moving for 40 minutes to focus on the strength or the cardiovascular move without it compromising, and hurting
Right.
yourself, but honoring your body. And I know you've learned a lot of that through personal training also over the years and just getting to know your body. But I think that's a big thing that I wanted to make sure I shouted out about your journey as well, that I know of. Because I've seen you in classes improvise, and I see other women look at what you're doing improvise, and they're like, "Yeah, those lunges bother me. I should do what she's doing too." And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I would encourage anyone to, I mean, don't skip it if you're able to do it, but if it hurts,
Bad,
yeah, too much. I mean, it
yeah,
might be a little bit uncomfortable just because those muscles are weak, but
sure,
if it is intense pain, certainly don't do it. And
yeah,
so I've just learned that when my back starts getting really tight and it'll spasm and then I'm done for 2 days, if I stop before that and lie on a mat and do core work, then I'm good. And so,
fantastic.
yeah, when everyone else is doing um, lunges or something, I might be doing dead bugs, and I can do but dead bugs way better than I used to be able to do. I remember when I very first started working out, I could not do more than 2 or 3 dead bugs without my core just screaming, and now I can do them for several minutes. And I know that building up my core is helping my back, and helping my back helps my legs. And, so
Yes.
it's all connected. And every little bit that I can do is helping.
It's just cool that it doesn't get in your head of they're doing squats and lunges and I'm doing dead bug for my core on my back. Like you're still moving, and that's the big thing. And that's the other part of our community, and that kind of takes me to another note. Like you've cultivated some friendships in this community over the years, and even
Absolutely.
to going for local walks or heading up to the foothills or mountains for hikes. What Tell me a little bit about the community and the friendships that you've cultivated over your time with us.
Well, I would say that I've met some of my very best friends at the gym. The community is awesome, and looking for things to do outside of going to Feed Your Soul, but with my Feed Your Soul friends, has been awesome. And you're right, I can't wait to get back to hiking. I hope I can do it this summer. Um, and I've seen places I never would have been before. I wouldn't have done them on my own. I probably wouldn't go hiking on my own. And now I live that much closer to the foothills, and there's some nice walking paths around me. And I'm looking forward to doing that as I get just a little bit stronger. So,
Love it. Well, is there anything else that you want to share with anybody who is either a part of our community or maybe looking at potentially becoming a part of our community as a client, knowing what you know about your starting point, what it's done for you over the years, and what's still to come for you? Anything you want to share with them?
well, I just can't speak highly enough about Feed Your Soul Fitness, and I would say do it. If you're thinking, I need to do something, I got to get off the couch, my knees hurt, I got to get stronger, call Brandy.
Yeah,
text,
come take a
email,
class with
whatever.
Patty.
Yeah, take a class. It's it's the best thing I've ever done for myself. I knew I needed to do it. I knew I kind of wanted to. Um, but once the opportunity presented itself, it was the absolute perfect thing for me. And I know that my injury had, I mean, it obviously had nothing to do with Feed Yourself Fitness, but I was stronger than then and probably got through it better had I never come into Feed Your Soul Fitness, because my whole body was strong at that point. And I'm just forever grateful. So do it. Pick up the phone.
I love that. Thanks for the shout out. And it's true. Actually one of our clients last night, Susie was talking to one of her personal training coaches, Ashley, and she was saying that the pending knee surgery, she got one done last summer. She had another one scheduled for mid-March, just a couple of weeks, yeah, a few weeks away. And they actually said, no, you're doing really well with all the training that you're doing. Plus, we want to give you more time to keep rehabbing, as far as she was in such great shape leading up to the knee surgery that her rehab from that was even that much better. And so it's true, like you have pending knee surgeries, as you've mentioned, getting yourself in that healthier, realm so your body accepts the surgery, your physical therapy afterwards is better. That's
Right.
definitely the eye on the prize for you. And obviously nobody looks forward to a knee surgery. Sometimes it's inevitable, but you got to do what you can do. So I love that you stick to it. You fight through everything that you can and you keep showing up no matter what's going on in your personal life, what's going on with your body. So thank you for being a long-term member with us. Thanks for sharing your story today. And any
Absolutely.
of you guys out there, hopefully you found Patty really inspirational. And if you want to take her up on her offer to take a class, just shoot us a message. We'd love to have you in a class. But thanks for your time this morning, Patty. I appreciate you jumping on with Coffee with Coach Brandy.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Have a great day. We'll see you next Wednesday. Take care. Bye.